So remember, very few people choose number 5 as their favorite love supply, especially in the midst of the negative self. Okay, we also said something in there at number 5, because these love supplies can also come from yourself. And one way to explain or figure out or discover some great truth is to ask yourself questions. I'm upset because. I'm depressed because. 10 times as fast as you can go. And you have to blurt out the answer. And if you'll go real fast and you'll blurt, you can discover stuff you never knew. And we'll get to that even in a minute. So that's why it says on your chart, finishing sentences, to find out some stuff. Like some of you think you know why you're fat, or you know why you have a bad temper, or you know why you're weird in some way, or you know this or that. But wait till you make yourself finish some sentences real fast, 5 or 6 times. I like to criticize people because. I remember when I did that once, and out came, it gets things done. Well, that's a performance idiot, isn't it? And then I said, I like to criticize because it makes me feel superior. Now, why would I need to feel superior? Because inside, deep down, I feel inferior. Because I was criticized so much when I was little. And then we have the saying, all criticizers have been criticized. Have you ever heard all bullies have been bullied? Yeah. It's true. Do it unto others before they do it unto you. Have you heard that? Yeah. That's what lots of people do. I like to criticize because, and I never knew that I did it so I could feel superior. You know, when you criticize someone else, you say, well, at least I don't dress like that. At least I don't leave my junk all over the floor like that. At least I must be wonderful. So, superiority. I like to criticize others because it keeps people away from me. Why don't you want people to talk to you and open up their feelings and cry? Well, it opens up a can of worms. And I have a lot of junk inside me. I'm not going to tend them. And on. So you might want to finish some sentences someday. I criticize a lot because. How many of you even know some of your faults? And if you want to know more, ask the people you live with to give you a short list or a long list. When I was younger and my kids were all at home, we had 7 kids at home and 2 parents, and so that was 9 of us. And so, once a month, during our so-called family night, we'd have what we called shrink night. Because their dad was a shrink. And we also called it open night. So here were the kids, and here were the parents. And one thing we did is we said, anyone who wants to now can talk about anything they want to for as long as they want to, and nobody else can say one thing except empathy. Now some nights that would take 2 or 3 hours. And some nights it would take 20 minutes. I don't have anything to say. I like to complain about Julie. She thinks she's blah, 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 blah. And we'd all listen. And Julie had to be quiet. I see that you're disappointed with me. And we'd go around the circle. And she could dump her garbage and we'd all listen to her. She could even complain about Dad. Once anyway. So they go around and they all get this out. That's one of the things they loved. It was called open night. Actually, it was garbage dumping night, and it was a little form of group therapy. Then another time, we did something else quite wonderful. Say this was Tony. Then it would be Tony's turn to get feedback from every member of the family. So first we said, you can only say something about his positive self. So it'd be fun, and he'd come back next month. So this person would say, there's one thing I like about Tony, and that is that he's really nice and he'll help you if you're in trouble. Another one would say, he's real smart, he gets good grades. Another one would say, he likes bicycles, and he taught me how to make my bike go better. I like Tony because, and they'd think a long, long time because they didn't know anything. He likes ice cream, and on and on and on. They'd all go around saying some good things. And when they got through, Tony had 8 pieces of feedback. All positive. Then we go to the next one, and she'd get 8 pieces of feedback. All positive. And then one night, Julie said, I would like the members of the family to give me something they think I need to work on. You got guts, girl. And so out it comes. Just one thing, Dave. And so they each suggested, first they told a good thing, and then they suggested one thing she should work on. And she actually wrote them down. Now, how would you like to have 8 pieces of feedback, one thing that you need to work on? That's hard, isn't it? You know, sick people who are defensive and love-starved, they cannot take feedback. They have criticism wounds. And what's the difference between feedback and criticism? Does anyone know? Peggy.
Feedback is usually done with permission.
It's nice. It's done with permission, and it's done with niceness, calm, peace, right? So feedback is calm, peaceful. That's feedback. And it's always in positive tones. Would you be willing to consider blah, blah, blah? It's calm, it's peaceful. And if the person doesn't take it, you don't get angry because you don't need them to take it. You don't need them to believe it. It's calm and peaceful. What's criticism? It's not calm and peaceful. It has a mean voice tone, and it has these always. Why do you always, right? And I hate it when why don't you learn to, you know? And they're not true questions, they're complaints, right? So, and then if they don't take it and get defensive, then you get mad or you get defensive, and that shows that it was criticism. Now, suppose someone's giving you feedback, what's the best thing for you to do? Do you ask for a time like this? Well, when did I do that? Because you don't tell. Okay? The healthy person would say, thank you for the feedback. You must really love me to tell me that, because I know it takes a lot of guts, you know. And you must really care about me. I'll take it under advisement with my beautiful self. Have you ever said that when someone gave you some feedback? It's very rare. These systems I'm teaching you are highly idealistic, right? But there's something to shoot for. Thanks for the feedback. I'll take a look. I don't know that about myself. I'll take a look. And I will, now watch this, look for evidence in favor. What do you do when you're defensive? Look for evidence against. What I never do. I haven't worn this green sweater for years. What do you mean? So looking for evidence in favor. Oh yeah, I remember one time when I did that. Yeah, well, thanks a lot for telling me I hate my negative, right? You ever heard this? We should be allies in the war against negative selves. Right? I hate my negative. I hate your negative. You hate your negative. I hate my negative. Right? So we should be allies in the war, and we should welcome feedback. So pretty soon, the kids so they actually asked for feedback because they wanted to work on something. Now, suppose one kid was not giving feedback, they were getting critical. They would say, Dave, is that criticism or is that feedback? Oh yeah, I feel that you should. So those are some fun things you can do to get. How many of you know what your spouse thinks about you? What your children think about you? Have you ever talked to them about your negative and your positive, your good self and your bad self? Yeah, that's very important. Healthy people really want to know, but sick people don't. They pretend they don't have a negative. And because they're the dad or they're the mom, they couldn't have anything wrong with them. So that's a good thing. So learn about yourself. And number 5, from your real self to you is very, very important. We'll talk about that in just a minute.